what I'm doing now is just I'm taking the heater and we'll turn it all the way to hot. Out. I'm showing. Let me put this over here so that. There we go. So showing 14 out. 14 watts out right now. I don't know if it will go back and forth and show. So it's going to show what's going out, but it's not showing what comes in at the same time. Showing right now with the input coming 682 watts in. It's only rated at 500, but I have 600 watts of, a little over 600 watts of panels on. So it will actually take in more watts than it is rated for. But you see that it's already at 40%. We started off, what, 30 something? Alright, so we have our app here, and we're going to push the Bluetooth on. Hold the button down. And you'll see the little app light come on here. Now we're going to push the app on the phone, and let's see here. There we go. I had already clicked it, so we'll push the Bluetooth. Next, should scan and find, there it is. I'll click the screen matches up. So what we're going to do now is turn the power on using the phone. We'll click this button. That just caused the power to come on. And now we're going to turn on the heater down here. So we've got the maximum temperature. We're going to turn it to fan. And you should be able to see, okay, on the phone app you can see 14 watts, and on the screen you can also see 14 watts. So that's matching. Now I'm going to go down here and turn this on. And we just went up to half power. Showing 375 watts, 395, 422. So these are mirroring. Yeah, it's evening out right now at about a little over 530. So that's our output right now. If you on the phone app, you can see the input. There is no input. So what I'm going to do now is plug our solar panels in. We have 1200 watts of solar panel, and that's way overkill for this, but it's the right voltage. We're only running 60 volts at 1200 watts. So now we should see on the app input pick up. Now all of a sudden, now we're showing, it's kind of a hazy day outside, so we don't have great input. We're showing 557 watts output and 519 input. So at this particular stage of the sun, we probably could make heat for it says 31 minutes at this. I don't know if that's right, because we're putting really not a good time right now because the sun has went behind the clouds. A while ago we were cranking out 700 watts, almost 800 watts of solar. And right now the best we can do is about 370 because it's cloudy right now. Maybe the sun will pop out here while we're doing this. Let's just watch it for a little bit. Also in the app, while we're letting this thing go through its process, you can show in the app here, you can see we can turn the DC power on and off, so you can do all that. And also down at the bottom, you see where it says 60 hertz, you can change the hertz. Not a lot more that you can do on this app. You can go into some settings screens here, change the name of this particular unit. We're not going to do that. But right now we're still holding, if you notice, it's holding 31 minutes straight. It's not, even though it says 31 minutes is not changing. And that's probably because we're putting in quite a bit of solar in still. 270 something watts, and only taking out 500. So let's turn the heater up to a higher setting and see if we can change that. Turn on high. I believe this is about a 1500 watt system. Oh yeah, then it dropped down now. It's showing 18 minutes, 17 minutes. I just wonder what it would say if we had, yeah, showing right now 1100 watts. I said 1500 watts. I think this is a 1200 watt unit, but the maximum that we've ever got it to do is about 1100 on all the tests. But it's showing 15 minutes and it's holding 15 minutes pretty good. And the sun may pop out here, and I'd really like to see, that number jump up to 700 again. This system has not fluttered, and I've put in way too much solar. I did put it's the correct voltage, but I put in way too much solar for it, and it has not shuddered, it has not kicked out, it has not caused any faults. Everything has just been spot on. And if you notice, it's still our solar input is picking back up around 400 there for a second, and we're still holding 15 minutes of the heater on at 1200 watts out, and that's because it's replenishing with solar. So it's taking the solar in at the same time that it's taking solar in at the same time that it's putting AC power out. I need to bring the extension cord out here and see if it will take, what it will take with the charge. Will it do 110 volts at the same time? I don't know. Really not something that this is meant to do. Okay, so we lost it now until it shows 14 minutes here on this screen, and also 14 minutes here. And that's got something to do with the fact that we're only bringing in about 370 watts of solar right now. I really would like to see how this changed if the sun popped out. We could get maybe 800 or 900 watts of power coming in here from the solar. There's 412, little sun coming out. Let's turn the AC off using the app here. So that's something unusual. I don't understand that. So right now we're pulling in about 639 watts input, and we don't have anything on output on AC. So let's turn the AC back on and see if the watts drop on the input. So let's turn the AC back on and let's see if the watts drop on the solar input. And I think it's just coincidental that the sun came out about the same time that happened, because I'm showing 689 on the watts again on the input, and the sun has come out quite a bit. Now it's showing 14 minutes still. This is with the heater on high, blowing almost 1200 watts. %, remaining. At this rate, we can run this heater with this kind of solar input. We can run this heater on high pretty much all day, even though the meter is showing 14. I'm pretty sure we're definitely working this thing outside of what it's rated for, but we've played around with this several times over the last 3 months, and you see how dirty the machine is. It's just like dust all over the top of it. The fan inlets on the side, or you got dust where it pulled through. I blow dust. I blowed out the fans with the air or the vacuum. What is that? Those leaf blower. So I've used the leaf blower to blow the dust out through the interior parts, and so this has been not treated really well. We're back down. The sun's peeking behind the clouds again, and We're back down to 350 watts. I just noticed last time when I turned the heater off, the watts coming in the input seemed to jump up all of a sudden. I think it could have been coincidental, but we'll try it again. No, so it was just coincidental that the sun came out at the last time. Alright, back on. This is a abuse test too, because that's a 1200 watt instantaneous load. I'm trying to make this thing overheat, and I'm trying to make it kick out, give me some sort of fall. To this point right now, I've got nothing. The sun's popping back out a little bit, maybe we get a little more. I'd really love to see some 800 come into this thing, see if it would, what it'll do. Right now we're making just about as much power coming in. I mean, it's staying on 14 minutes, 91%. It's staying there a long time. This is a lot of pull. So if this particular setup, you could run an air conditioner in the day, wide open, one of those small window units like 400 or 500 watts, you could basically run that full on all day. Just wonder how that would hold up. Think of any other kind of test we could do? That's it. I mean, I'm going. I'm going to stop now. Down to 91%. Turn the heater over there beside you. Turn it down to half. Half power. Low. Okay, so that drops. Now that's 800, 500 something watts. I think it's around. This is about what one of those little portable AC units will pull. And you see the power jumped up to 29 minutes. I believe right now if the sun would come out full on, we would actually still be charging the battery. Right now the sun keeps going in and out, in and out. I feel pretty good about this test. So right now we have a little bit more sun out right now, and I want to try something else. We have our other solar system up here. You can see this on the wall, and I'm going to go ahead and plug the power cord to the AllPowers S2000 in while the solar's charging at the same time. I just want to see if it can take in solar and electric at one time. So let's see. This could be bad. Wow, we just jumped up to, you can't see it right now, but on my screen here I can see it. It's showing, well, you can't see it too. I'll put the screen up here. But we're putting in 765 watts of charge right now. Let's pull the solar and see what happens when we turn the solar off. How much pass-through of 110 do we have? So we're only getting about 375 watts is what the charger will charge simultaneous. So we can take about 375 in at 110 power, and then add solar, and we're going to be 689, but it's still so cloudy, so this is not a great test. I wish we had a really sunny day today to do this test. Now we're back to 691. The sun's coming out a little bit, so maybe it's going to tell you, I believe we could put almost 800 or 900 watts of power in at one time if the sun would come out. We're definitely putting more power in than we're taking out. But but our solar is just not working with us today because of the simple fact it's cloudy and windy. Our solar, we have the self-tracking solar panels. They track the sun, but if the wind gets too high, they'll go back flat. We're having some pretty good wind today, and then on top of that, it's cloudy. It's kind of intermittent clouds. Still, we got 700 watts input. That's 93% charge. 740 watts input. It's feasible that this thing might take in 800 or 900 watts. It's not recommended. Everything I'm doing right now is not recommended. They asked us to test this thing, so we're running it through the ringer. There's 900 watts input. So the solar's coming out. Still putting 500 out. 93% holding. It's been sitting on 30 minutes. I don't think it has a way. It's not smart enough to calculate the fact that there's more power coming in. There we go. We just jumped over 1,000 watts input between solar and 110. That's pretty awesome. Nothing. I mean, this thing's not even hiccuping. I'm feeling the air coming out of the fan on this side. It's not even warm. I mean, it's just cool air coming out this side. Air's coming in through on this side. Cool air coming out on this side. I have nothing. This is pretty impressive little test we're doing right here. Love that sun to come out all the way. And then I throw this heater on. If the sun will come out all the way, I'm going to throw the heater on high. %. So we just jumped a percent. 1,000 watts, 1,100 watts. Ooh, that's 1,100 watts again. Pretty impressive. Pull the power cord. $700 watts going in right now. Turn the AC off. It shows you how many watts you're going back in. So we've held 94%. So I want to do it again now. Now there's no load on this. We have solar coming in. We have solar coming in right now, and we're going to go ahead and turn 110 power back on. Let's see how much will come in without a load. Oh, it's 100%. I don't think that's right. Let me turn the heat back on. Back almost 1,200 watts coming in. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. So it shows the battery's 100% right now. It's just that little bit of time off. Alright, so power, it's 100%, it's plugged into 110. We've got, right now the sun has really come out, so I would imagine we have some pretty high solar, but it's showing 100%. It should cool off, and the fan should shut off. It may not shut off with the solar hooked up, I don't know. Definitely slowing down. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the fan is slowing down. very incremental steps of slowing down as it cools off. Still feels cool air coming out the side. Steadily slowing down. You can still hear the fan. It's quite pronounced, but it's steadily slowing down. We run everything to the absolute max. I smelt no burning, no any sensation of like burning the new off of something or anything getting hot, too hot. There was no really hot air coming out the side. Maybe at the most it was like possibly just warm. Alright, I'm going to turn the fan on. Seeing a little surge, about 360, that's about 15 watts. Now let's crank it on to half power. The sun's really out right now. All the way. Out. Right now it's only showing 700 or 300 input, which makes me think that because it's 100%, it's that input is left over between the solar and that input is the leftover between the solar and the 110 power of the wall. There it went to 99. This right here is a torture test. Holding that 1130 something watts, supposed to be 1200 watts. It's always showed about 1100 on each item that I've tested it on. I don't think the AC will kick in until it gets down to about 97%. 98. Still showing only the solar right now, I think. Let's turn the power off and see if it jumps up real high. Yeah, the 110 is not cooked, or it's not hooked up right now. That was just actually that was the 110 that was inputting. The solar's not putting in. Plug the solar back up. Maybe the solar won't kick on until it gets down to a lower. This thing is completely automated, so turn the heat back on. I'm pretty happy with this. So we have really abused this comparatively. I mean, we've used the skill saw on it. The table saw on it. We use the chop saw on it. We've run the greenhouse fans. We've run solar through it.
The welder.
Huh?
The welder.
No, this one not had the welder.
Oh.
No, this one didn't have the welder, but this would be a little bit too much for. I think the welder would be a little too much for this.